Hello, it's me coming alive from my couch. Again, sorry for the messy hair and sweatshirt, but that's what these vlogs are for, to be more chill and stuff instead of all beauty guru'd up, you know? That's why I like these videos, because I could feel like I could be my comfy self. Anyways, this is the time where little Hailey worked at Justice. I was 16. It was my first job, because when I turned 16, my parents made me find a job, which any parent should. I truly strongly believe in that. I was 16 years old, and again, no shade or no tea to this Justice. I'm not trying to start arguments or anything. Hope they're doing well. Maybe they've become better people since I worked there, but I just want to tell you my experience because, yeah, it was not the best experience. So I started like a month after my birthday or something like that. And, you know, it was fine and all, but, you know, first of all, we had these charts that we had to memorize before we even got in the shift. Now, the main reason why I left, because I quit there, I didn't get fired or anything, I quit because I'm a good little worker. I quit there because I just wasn't getting enough hours and how they treated me, because they, honestly, like, it went to the point where how badly they treated me, my parents wanted to go to the business bureau about it, because, like, I was a minor and they treated me so badly. And I can't remember a whole lot, but it had to be pretty bad, because my parents are not the type of people to be like drop everything and like, you know, tell on people. Like, they're not like that. They never were. Like, you know, they're not the type of people, unless they really have a reason to do something or say something, they won't do it. First off, they'd give us like little tests, and I feel like this is normal for every store, you know, they want you to know the deals, but I would come in like 15 minutes before my shift, because, you know, that's a responsible thing to do. And I have dyslexia and I have like a learning disability, so it's really hard for me to memorize things quickly, and I'm just not the type of person that can pick up things like quickly. Like, go into work, and that's all I did for the first 15 minutes, like before my shift. I would just sit there and try to memorize. You had like the deals board, and then there was something else that we had to memorize that had all this stuff on it and stuff like that. And then once you came out to clock in, you'd clock in, and then she would test me, and I'm like, and then like, luckily most of the time I was able to get certain things from. But then sometimes, like, I really wouldn't, because again, I mean, I'm not using my learning disability as an excuse or anything, but, you know, like, and being under a pressure situation like that, that's kind of hard to memorize things. So she would test me. She's like, okay, what did the board say? And, like, it was hard to memorize because it had all these words on it, and then if I got it wrong, she would send me back in there. She's like, no, you need to go back and go reread it and try to memorize it. And it's like, that's not all what I'm there for. Like, yes, I get memorizing the deals are important, but when you have like 10 different deals going on, I'm not going to remember every single one of them. And it's not really even the deals. There was something else that I had to memorize, which I forget. Or promote new collections, which I understand, but most stores, you know, they have like 1 or 2 deals. If it's like makeup or something, I can memorize it. Like that's what I don't understand. Like, I can memorize makeup deals like that. Like, if it was like clothes deal, like, I don't know, it's just something with makeup. Everything sticks when it comes to makeup. Like, I don't know, like, I just don't know. So anyway, but like I said, most stores only have like 1 or 2 deals going on, but Justice had like 10 different deals, and they had 10 different sections, like categories of clothes. Like, they had like a red, white, and blue collection. They had a boho, like wild and boho, and then like surf's up collection. Like, they had so many collections throughout the store that it's like, it's impossible to memorize each deal in each section. Like, they had too many things going on at once. Another thing is, we had like 3 sections of the store. They were the heart of the store, the front, and the what's it called? The cash register. And that's the thing. They didn't train me. Like, I first started, and they barely even trained me. So, like, you know, I was, like, my first day, it was so awkward because, like, nobody talked to me, you know. That's the thing, too. Like, they weren't welcoming. They weren't, like, you know, usually when you start a new job, 9 times out of 10 people are very welcoming, trying to get to know you, like, talking to you. And that day, I was working with all the managers, like, all 3 of the managers. And they weren't trying to get to know me. They weren't trying to, I mean, I get it. It's work. You have to do your job and stuff. But, you know, when you get hired, usually your workers, like, you know, say, oh, like, what's your name? Like, how old are you? Like, you know, they try to start conversations with you. They just expected me to know everything right away. And that's another thing. Like, my manager would push sales so much. And I get it. You want sales. But, one, we're not on commission. I mean, I don't know about other justices, but our justice was on commission, which I don't think any justice is on commission. 2, my times that she'd give me all the night shifts too, like, and they were like 3 hours long. Like, I wouldn't even, not even long shifts. So, 2, like, most times when people come there at night, they want to get what they need and go. They don't want to spend a whole bunch of money. Like, I know me from personal experience being a little girl and shopping at Justice, you know, I just would get what I need and go. I didn't want anything extra. She would always try to, you know, oh, this would look good on you, like, do that type of thing. But it's like, we're not buckle, we're not on commission. You know, people would get mad at me for it, but I'm just doing my job. But it's like, I even had people complain to me all the time, like, are you guys on commission or something? Like, you know, this is not right, like, how you guys are trying to press sales. And it's like, you know, I had to apologize, and because I was just doing what my manager told me to do. And, like, people would get mad, and she never understood that. Like, people would get mad at that, like, you know, because people are just going in there for what they need. They're not trying to buy 5 pairs of shorts and, like, a shoes and necklace, and, you know, they just want to get what they need. And so I remember specifically one time I was at the register. I'm dyslexic, like, and I have anxiety, so I don't really work well in high pressure situations. And for some reason, my manager was so caught up on making sure we're really fast at the counter. It's like, but like in most places, they wouldn't care how fast you go. Like, I know my friends, and they work at, you know, Tilly's and stuff. Like, their managers never cared about, like, how fast they went under the register. Like, their manager cared as long as they're doing their job right and giving them the right amount of money and making sure all their merchandise is in the bag. My manager, she'd like literally flip out, like, get mad just because I wasn't going fast enough. Nobody actually really taught me how to do register. They just expected me to get everything. And but so this one time, I was like my first or second time on the register, and she's like, you gotta hurry up, you gotta hurry up, you gotta hurry up, like, go faster. And then she started doing my job for me, and then I couldn't remember, because she was like trying to rush me, I couldn't remember what I already scanned and stuff. And then she's like, you need to figure out how to do this. Because I started charging the lady twice for things because she was taking things and putting them in when I had a pile for things I already scanned and didn't scan. And she's like, you need to go faster on this. And in front of the customers, like, you should never do stuff in front of the customers. But for one, she's like, you need to go faster and stuff. And then she got mad at me because we had to start all over. And she's like, you charged them twice for all this stuff. I'm like, because, like, you took this and, like, put it in a pile that I already scanned, and I got confused. So then she got mad. She's like, and then she, like, had to restart. She's like, you can't be doing this, like, just charging people twice. I'm like, I usually don't. Like, I mean, this is my first or second time on the register. And so then she was rushing me again, and then she just, like, kind of took over. And then, like, she was rushing me, and, like, I was scanning, and she was just folding at that point. And then she And then I went to give back the lady her change. Well, I was like 5 cents off. And again, dyslexic, you know, not good with numbers, even though it tells you the amount that you're supposed to give, like, and me having anxiety, that's like an anxious situation, you know, like I panic because I want to go in a timely manner so the customer don't get mad and so my manager don't get mad, but also I want to make sure I give them the right amount. And so and seeing somebody like watch me do change, like, is kind of nerve-wracking for me at that age. So I was like 5 cents off, and she's like, oh, and the lady was really nice. She wasn't mad at me or anything. She's like, oh, sweetie, I just need 5 more cents, and that's all. I'm like, oh, sorry. And then my manager goes right in front of the customer, do you even know how to count change? Like, do you even know how to do math and stuff? Like how can you be so rude to a 16-year-old? Like, I was trying my best, and like, you just don't do that in front of customers. And I'm like, yeah, I'm just like, you're trying to rush me, and I'm trying my best to do what I'm supposed to do. I'm sorry. And then that's one thing. So that was one thing. She always wanted us to have like this super fast mentality in the counter when it shouldn't be like that. Like, I like to take my time to make sure I have everything, and I did charge them for everything. I gave them all their merchandise, and I gave them the right money. Like, that's how it should be. People should be allowed to take their time at the counter and not rush. So another thing is closing. Okay, so closing, that was the main thing. Like, okay, so again, never got shifts, but always closing. So closing was like, okay, so again, nobody really taught me how to do it, so I was just doing everything to the best of my ability. And what irked me about this is, I don't know about you guys, but I feel as if in a business, everybody should be on the same playing field. Like, even the manager should help close the store. And in most places, that's how it usually works. Like, you know, the managers, or usually there's more than just one employee, and it's not just an employee and a manager. Like, usually there's a couple employees to help close and not just have one employee. Well, I didn't really know how to close how they wanted it, but it still looked great, it still looked neat, but it's not how they wanted it. So I closed, and the manager, yeah, I get that they have to do the money and stuff, but an employee shouldn't get treated like a peasant and should have to close the whole store by itself. Like, I believe like a manager should help. You know, if it's just you and the manager should help close the store. They'd give me a half hour, like, okay, that's the thing too. They would time me. Like, okay. Like, oh, you have to be done by this. You have to clean the whole store within 15 minutes of time. Well, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to be able to clean that. If you want me to do it how you want, and like, I'm the type of person that likes to take my time and likes to, you know, I'm the type of person that likes to take my time and, you know, do everything right and please people and stuff. So, they would try to rush me. Well, how am I supposed to get all that done if you're gonna rush me, and how am I supposed to do everything right? Like, and since you're not helping me because you're doing the cash register, which I understand you have to do, but that should be your last priority, and if we get out later, we get out later. So, they would never help, the managers would never help clean, and honestly, if that's the case, if they're too focused on the register, which I understand they should have 2 employees working at night, 2 or 3 employees working at night, so each employee could get the job done faster if they want the job done that fast. Like, that's the thing, they would only give me like 10 or 15 minutes to clean up the whole store, and it's like, no, like, I won't be able to fold clothes and clean, and like, I won't be able to fold clothes, hang up racks, you know, check the dressing rooms and everything, and then, you know, mop the floors, and then vacuum and wipe the windows down all in just 15 minutes. I could do it if you don't want me to look closely and leave things like as it is, like, then yeah, I'll be able to do it in 15 minutes. But So I would try my best, little 16-year-old Hailey, being the warrior that I am, trying my best and worrying. So I'd do that, and basically, I remember the one night, she's like, this is all wrong, like this is all wrong, this is not how we do it, it looks neat, but it's not how we do it, and you need to get better at cleaning, and like, you know, closing, because, you know, it's not neat or anything. And I'm like, I shouldn't have to redo all of this. I'm like, I need to do all this stuff in 15 minutes when we had last minute customers, and two, you never really trained me on how you wanted it all to be cleaned up anyway. You never trained me on how to do all this stuff. So yeah, so how am I supposed to do that when you like never trained me? Bottom line is, if you get anything from this, they never trained me. But like, you know, I'm not, like, that's the thing too, like, I'm not a disrespectful person. Like, I actually, when I'm working, I genuinely care about doing a good job and doing what I'm supposed to and stuff. But you didn't train me how you wanted it, so I can only guess on how you want it. And you don't talk to me. That's another thing. The one manager, like, she would never talk to me throughout the whole shift. Like, she was the most snottiest out of all of them. Like, she wouldn't talk to me, and she was very rude to me. And I forget one thing she said to me that was really rude and made my parents, like, really mad. Credit cards. Oh my gosh, that's like, okay. Again, always put on night shifts. Only got 3-hour shifts. And so then the rule was you had to sell one at each shift. So I never could sell one because, again, I was at night. Like, I worked at night. Nobody wants to buy a freaking credit card at 9 o'clock at night. Like, I'm sorry, nobody does. Like, that's how it rolls. People want to get in and get out, you know? So again, I got yelled at for that. So I would ask, and you know, try to get people to help me out. But nobody wants to buy and sign up for a credit card when it's 9 o'clock at night on a Wednesday. Sorry, like, people are getting off work. They want to get out, get in and get out. She's like, oh, well, that's not good. She's like, you need to get one. You know you have to get one a shift, right? Her all, I said, I'm trying my best. But like, in my mind, I'm thinking, you know, if you think about it, you know, people are not going to want to buy credit cards at night. I'm sorry. Like, people usually get in and get out. Like, when I go to a store at night, it's usually because I just need to get something real quick and go. Like, I don't want to sign up for credit cards or anything. So that's another T thing. And then, probably one other thing that I can remember, I can't remember a whole lot, but all I know is they were mean to me and they would say mean things to me. And so, this one time I was filling in for this girl, or they needed extra help or something, because it was supposed to be a busy day. Actually, I have two things. It was supposed to be a busy day. So I was ready to go in. It was like, I was literally just about to leave my house for my shift, because my shift started in like 20 minutes and I was leaving early so I could memorize the thing. So I got ready and I was just on my way to my shift. I get a call from them and they're like, hey, we don't need you today. We're not going to be that busy. They didn't need me. It was going to be slow today. I was so ticked off because I was opening, oh my gosh, like, I was opening with her, with the manager, with the other manager, and they called me off like 10 minutes before the freaking shift. Who does that? Like, you probably knew last night that you didn't need me, like, so why would you wait until I got ready, got up early, you know, on a summer day, got up early on a summer day, and tell me that you don't need me? Like, who does that? Like, that's, you do, like, no, like, that is rude. Like, sorry, honey, like, that was rude. And I honestly, I think that one just didn't like me from the start for whatever reason. I don't know if they thought I was a normal teenager, but just because I'm shy and stuff doesn't mean I have an attitude or anything. I'm just shy and quiet. And then, lastly, and this was the last straw of why I quit. Justice, this was my last straw. You know, we get our schedules usually on a weekend. And so I went to open my email and I saw that I had no shifts. Well, I was like, and I wasn't fired or anything because I called to make sure, but I looked and there was no shifts. But that was the week that we were supposed to have training for our new system or whatever. So they were going to give me no shifts on a very important week. And so then I would come in the next week and then we would come, would come in the next week and not know what I'm doing. Now that makes sense. You would leave an employee out for training for a new thing. But when I would come in the next week, you would expect me to know that system by heart. Even though you didn't have me work the week for the shifts, for the training. Like, that makes total sense. Total sense. So, I basically quit. I was just like, you know what? I'm not giving them a 2 weeks notice. And I know that was probably very unprofessional of me, but I even asked my parents about it, and they usually always give me the professional thing. But if I remembered the whole stories, and if I had my parents sitting right here, they would be able to tell you all the main things they did to me, because they did downgrade me, like degrade me. They did kind of call me names and stuff. Like, they would kind of bully me at the same time too. They were doing things where I could go to the business bureau about, and they shouldn't be doing in a business. And my parents wanted to even go to the corporate of Justice or whatever, CEO, and tell them how bad this store is and how bad they treated me. Because it was just hurtful. So I called in the store and I was like, hey, I quit, I'm not coming in, I have a new job. Which I kind of already had a new job in the works anyway. I was looking anyway. They were just in the middle of setting up an interview because I got a better job offer that paid me over minimum wage and gave me better hours. So I had an interview the following week anyways for that job, so I was gonna quit anyways. And kids, if you get anything from this, please put in your 2 weeks notice and make you look better. Even that, like, now that I look back on it, I probably should have done the 2 weeks notice, but they were so rude to me that they didn't deserve a 2 week notice. So she's like, okay, well, are you coming in for your shift tomorrow? And I said no. I was like, I'm done. Like, you know, this is not right. You guys haven't treated me the nicest, and whenever I'm there, you guys are never pleased with my work, no matter how hard I try. And she's like, okay. And then I wrote a letter talking to my boss or whatever. And then alright, sorry guys, I have to switch my phone because both my cameras like ran out of storage on both of them because I have so many videos I have to do that I've done on these memory cards. So I'm just gonna finish it on here. But yeah, so what was I saying in the last clip? So then I wrote a letter to my boss at that store, and I was like, you know, it's a pleasure doing business with you. Like, you guys are just not happy with my work. I don't get enough hours as it is, and I try my hardest, but I truly don't work enough hours to present what you guys want me to do and stuff. So after she got that letter and stuff, she called me and left me a message. She's like, you're such a good worker, Hailey, and you got the same hours as everybody else, which I didn't, because people who are newer than me got more hours than me. Like, a girl Like, I remember one girl who just got hired, she would get like 15 hours a week, and I would get like barely anything. It was always unfair. Like, I mean, I get seniority and everything. Like, yeah, people who worked before me should get like first dibs on better hours, but just because I'm new doesn't mean you give me 3 hours a week. Like, how am I ever supposed to learn how to do a job if I don't get enough hours to even train and like really get to know the job, you know? So yeah, that happened. That's the thing. How am I supposed to do better if you're not going to give me the hours? So, that's another thing that was unfair. I was always getting the short end of the stick on hours. So, but she was like, you got the same hours as everybody else, and you were such a hard worker, and you were a good worker, and we loved you and stuff. But it's like, if you actually felt that way to me, then why did you guys treat me so crappy? Like, why would you say mean things to me? Why would you make me feel bad about myself? Like, why would you say things to embarrass me right in front of the customers when you shouldn't be doing that as a boss as it is? Like, that's against like business policies. And so she's like, I would love for you to come in and talk so we could work this out, because you have great potential and everything. But and she just went on and on. Sorry, my hand's unsteady, but I didn't ever come in to talk to her, and I didn't even call her back because they were very hurtful to me, and they should never treat somebody like that. Like, you should never treat somebody like that. And now, this is no shade, no tea to other justices. I'm sure other justices are great companies, and I have nothing against them. Like, I hope they're all doing well, but I just wanted to get this out here because I never did past experience. Like, I haven't done a story time in a while, and I figured this would be like the perfect way to do it. I'm gonna turn this the other way. I feel like this would be like this is gonna be such a long video, but I feel like this would have been perfect way to bring another story time, because I don't have an interest in life as it is. So, I mean, this was probably a good story time for you guys. But yeah, that's the thing. Like, and I'm not trying to bash the company. I'm not trying to bash this store. I have respect for them. It's just, they hurt me a lot, and I think that's how my anxiety even escalated, having that. Like, I feel like as I got older, my anxiety just got worse and worse, and I think that's one of the scenarios that made it get worse, But I loved working in retail, and I can sell products. Like, I can sell makeup products. I've shown it before. Like, I can sell makeup products like that. I can remember makeup sales like that. It's just makeup is my thing, and I need to stick to it. But anyways, guys, this is going to be like a 35-minute video, so I'm sorry. Hopefully, maybe I can edit some parts out, maybe, to where it makes sense. I don't know. But yeah, again, no shade, no tea. I wish them the best. Nothing against them. Nothing against all justices. And, no shade, no tea, no anything. Like, I wish them all best. This is not trying to bash anybody. This is just my experience, because people do wonder about it, because some people know I used to work there and stuff, and I loved working in retail. Well, I worked, let's just say, I can't say where, but I love working in retail. I've had a lot of experience in retail since then, and I do amazing at it. Like, I could sell makeup products like that. I remember the deals and everything. But just justice wasn't for me. And yeah, that's all I'm going to have to say. But this is going to be forever. Hopefully I can edit some of this out. But I love you guys so much. You guys are the best. And I'll see you next video. Mwah.